Home prices in Las Vegas have dropped for the first time in over 2 years. According to the Las Vegas Review-Journal, the median sales price of a previously owned single-family home in southern Nevada was $480,000 in June. That's down $2,000 from May. However, overall home prices are still much higher than they were a year ago. For more on this, I'm joined by the author of that piece, Eli Segall. He's a real estate reporter for the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Eli, thank you so much for being here. I'm somebody who owned a home in the 2007-2008 housing crisis in Florida. We often looked at Las Vegas where there was such a dramatic turn in the housing market. I think people hear this and you could get a little panicky. Then you hear the numbers and go, well, okay, what's going on? Can you explain why this has happened in southern Nevada, why the prices have dropped?
Sure. I mean, what we're seeing right now here in the Las Vegas area is just a real cooling off of the housing market. You know, Las Vegas, like so many other cities around the country, over the last year and change, just saw a huge acceleration in the housing market. You know, prices have catapulted. You know, sales were, homes were selling very rapidly last year. And then what we've seen lately in particular is just a very sharp increase in mortgage rates. It's made it it's made it increasingly expensive to buy a place, amid very high inflation as well. And so, sales dipped a little bit. Obviously it wasn't a dramatic drop by any means, but it was, like you said, the first time in over 2 years that sales prices here fell month to month. What we're also seeing is that sales totals are down. They've been dropping for 2 or 3 months now. Available inventory, homes that are still in the market that are available to buy, those have gone up pretty dramatically over the last few months. And we're seeing sellers increasingly slash the prices on their homes. So we're definitely seeing just kind of a big pullback right now in the housing market out here.
Well, that's, you're saying you're seeing some of these price drops happen. But the region really, the prices are still up more than 20% from a year ago. Do you think this drop of 0.4% is significant here, or are we getting a little too panicky because of the past? What do you think this could signal for potential buyers? Should people kind of sit a little bit and wait and see if those prices drop?
It's always tough to say. I mean, in my experience covering real estate out here, you just never know where the market's going to go. Las Vegas's housing market is definitely probably prone to more volatility than other markets for a lot of reasons. So you just never know if prices are going to go up or down or stay the same. You can never really predict it. But again, it's not a drastic drop. So we'll see what happens in the months ahead. But like you said, a lot of people out here, they lived through the housing bubble and the crash that followed it. And I would imagine a lot of them are still, maybe having flashbacks to what happened in 2008, 2009. Ultimately, that may not be what happens out here, but a lot of people are definitely thinking about that for sure.
Yeah, they're probably watching it. I love how you say, they go up, they go down. It's like you're talking like a Las Vegas casino. It's the housing market. You got a lot of gambling going on over there. You just mentioned a few minutes ago that Southern Nevada has also seen fewer home sales in recent months. It seems like that's likely throughout the country, but is this a specific trend in Nevada that you're seeing? Is something playing out? Is there a specific reason?
This is happening across the country. The National Association of Realtors, they recently reported that I think in May, the pace of resales dropped for I believe the 4th consecutive month. Home builders are seeing the same thing. I think the most recent month they reported there was actually an uptick in the pace of sales, but they're expecting sales to fall as well. So this is definitely not unique to Las Vegas by any means. This is happening all around the country. And again, I would suspect the main reason behind all this is this sharp increase in mortgage rates. It wasn't that long ago that you could lock in a mortgage rate below 3%, which was really just unheard of. And now, nationally, the average on a 30-year home loan is closer to 6%. So it's seen, the borrowing costs have just seen a dramatic increase really over a relatively short period of time.
So if I was somebody who did want to take a gamble, is this a good market for first-time home buyers or wait it out?
Well, it really, it always depends on your own personal situation. But I will say that, Southern Nevada has long been viewed, or had long been viewed at least, as a very affordable place to live. Las Vegas has for decades gotten, big influx of people moving here from California or other more expensive markets who are looking to buy, a lower cost house and live in the desert where there's a lot of sunshine. But over the last year, given how fast home prices have gone up and other reasons, personal finance site Bankrate, they released a report a few weeks ago ranking Las Vegas as the 2nd worst area in the country for first-time home buyers, which would really just have been unheard of to think about even just 3 or 4 years ago. So it really just kind of underscores the dramatic change that the housing market here has seen over the last year or two.
It's really interesting. Eli Segall, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
You bet. Thanks for having me.